Hi, Aidan. I have a couple comments on your brag sheet, and I think they might be helpful to you. It was a little long for me to write them out, and so I just thought I'd make this short video and describe them to you, okay? So, looking at your AP and your calculus, chemistry and calculus classes, one of the things that really stands out to me is that you've taken these difficult subjects, and you've done well at them. But you don't say what it was that hooked you. Like in chemistry, you say you got hooked on instantly. Well, what? What was that? And it wasn't your easiest class. That shows you can overcome a challenge, right? In fact, that's really important throughout your brag sheet. It shows that you can overcome challenges, right? It's still extremely interesting and inspirational. Be specific. You don't have to be elaborate and verbose. Just say it's acid-base theory, titrations, whatever it is. Say what it is, okay? It's okay. The next is, I never thought I would enjoy math until this class. Let me move my pen. And okay. But then it is so amazing. What about it is so amazing? What do you find, is it the ability to model the future? I mean, there could be a lot of things. Say what it is that you found amazing, because that describes who you are. The fact that you took a calculus class doesn't really describe who you are. What you found interesting about it, that talks about you, Aidan. Okay, and that's what we want to talk about. Okay, you have these math skills will definitely help you in the future. That shows a maturity in terms of looking forward about what is important to your future, and that's thing that college admissions people, they want to hear that you're thinking about your future and you're serious about it. You're considering what contributes to it, right? Okay, so, and the question I have is, will you continue? Will you continue with math? If you thought high school math will help with your future, do you think college math will help with your future? But all in all, this shows that you are not afraid to face a rigorous subject or subjects. Both calculus and chemistry are not trivial subjects, and you still find joy in them. So you can face rigorous challenges with joy, and that speaks to you. Okay, so now let's go into the music section. Let me get my thing out of the camera here. There we go. Okay, so you committed for a total of 4 years. Admissions offers love to see stuff like that because they're wondering, are you going to be able to hang in the program and stuff like that? And so the fact that you could commit going into high school to 4 years, or that you have that type of commitment, is important. The fact that you advance in a leadership position, you specialize within the drum section, but you also advance in leadership of not just directing people, but helping them appreciate their skills and how they work. That is something that comes through to me when I look at your brag sheet and I read through it, is that you care about how people benefit from things, right? And you take your joy in others' success, and that not everyone is that way, okay? And so that comes through in that. You make extreme amount of dedication and grit. That has challenge written all over it, but you don't really say specifically what it is. I mean, did you had to get out of bed early, or was it you had to really focus and bypass some fun, or if it's extreme, you should be able to come up with examples, right? So pick an example that helps tell your story. You don't have to describe everything, but make it specific, right? About, and true. Don't make it up. I mean, speak your real truth here, and I think your story will come through even stronger, right? So grit. You have dedication, and that, once again, that speaks to maturity. The timeline is a little confusing me because I'm not familiar with the music program, so you might think about, as you describe this, or maybe rewriting it a little bit, to talk about a progression. Like first I started in concert band, and then I got hooked on marching band because I like to turn chaos into straight line marching, or whatever it is. It's okay to speak about who you are. You don't have to justify it, but describe it so we know. Okay, so that's really great. What speaks to me about the volunteer work is, you start at the individual level, or at least the story goes this way. With your brother, it's individual, and it fills you with joy when he is successful. Not when you're successful, when he is successful, right? And so that speaks to an empathy and a caring for others that we want to see in our leaders, that we want to see, frankly, in the people that we invest in for the future, right? And served as a teacher's aide, helped them improve. It comes through again. Volunteer. Now with Leo Club, helping set up and take down community events. So you've moved from an individual family to teacher's aide, which is kind of outside the family, but still in kind of a structured engagement environment with the students or the tutors. And now you're with events. You're out in the world. You're making things happen. You're setting up and taking down parts of the community that are going to be there for a short term time to either feed people. So you've grown in your contribution and your capabilities, and the community benefits from it, right? Just like you've grown in your responsibilities within the music program, and that community members of that, we benefit from that, okay? And so that's part of a theme, is you overcome challenges with difficult subjects, and you still have your joy, and we benefit from your activities, from your grit and determination, okay? In terms of the major, this one I might make a separate video for you, but I'll just make it really short right now, is that technicians, engineering, and science. Those are kind of three different roles in the technical stack. So technicians use tools, engineers create tools that solve problems, and science is a body of knowledge and a set of experimental techniques, right, and they all have different levels of credible evidence, right? So an engineer can use science or best practice from the world to understand. So let me give you an example. Material science, right? People were making horseshoes and tempering iron and things like that, heat treating steels and stuff before there was a theory of material science. Blacksmiths just knew to heat it up, pound on it, quench it in oil, and it makes a good horseshoe, right? They didn't have a theory of material science, but they had best practice, right? And then what engineers can do is come along and they can use the science of chemistry and other things and look at what blacksmiths are doing it and forge other tools like literally forges and things like that. So what I'm trying to say is technicians use tools sometimes under pretty close supervision, right? Engineers create tools for technicians to use, and then science is about the general principles that the world works on. So the reason I'm calling this out to you is because chemistry is one of the sciences, and chemical engineering is in engineering. And so they're generally not in the same groups, although at Berkeley they are. At UC Davis, where I went to school, chemistry was in natural sciences, and engineering was in the engineering school. Chemical engineering was in the engineering school, right? And so those are a really different kind of career paths, right? And I just want you to start kind of thinking about that now. So we should have some other conversations on that, right? And then in the other, thanks to that I found ways to study and learn. That is really important, right? That learning itself is part of the challenge, not just the subject matter, but learning rigorous topics in a way that you feel confident about the material, right? And for me, overall, I had a hand in building my self-confidence and character. I'll back you up on that. But what I want to do is make your story a little more specific and compelling, so it comes through with a little more punch. And basically, it's be specific about the experiences that you thought were formative, or the things that influenced you, and note how you overcame those challenges, that you overcame the challenges, right? And you still find joy in the work. And we as a community benefit when from your activities, which is why we at whatever university you're applying to, we would feel good about it giving you admission, because we know you're going to go on to the future. You're going to meet the challenges of our school and go out and make the community better. Okay? I love you. I think you're doing great. I hope this is positive for you. All right. Bye now.